is the enemy. Fellow freedom fighters, the enemy is imperialism. Which uses
and we need it urgently.
I've been speaking to your brother Seku about your politics and your ambition. Have a listen to him.
She invited me when she was presenting, filing her papers. And I was there. They were singing and dancing for her. Quite interesting, but the same old people that I knew way back in 1993. So clearly the party is not growing. And I actually told her that I think, in a sense, the NDC coming into being took away the CPP.
But that's what she's trying to change by putting her foot in there and by trying to bring a new lease of life to the CPP, if I may put it that way. What do you think her chances are, really?
Well, I hope best of luck. I don't know if she can do it because, is it because of being Nkrumah's daughter or because she has some qualities? I think that is...
What do you think?
I think she stayed away for too long. I think it's never too late. But the thing is that I think she seems to be too much of... I don't know if too much of a hurry is the right word, but seems she's not really taking the time to understand the situation and why things happen in a certain way, and just understanding why the CPP is where it is today.
So you don't see even Samia's candidature as a possible move that can help revive the CPP as you would want to see it?
You can't revive the CPP whilst the NDC exists. That's my point.
Samia, what do you say to Seku? Or to people who share his view?
Yes, and quite a few people do share it. I think it's a pessimistic view. There are some of us who think politics is the art of the possible and that everything is possible with organization, with hard work and with sacrifice. That is why we are doing what we are doing. And anyway, even in my small corner in Jomoro, we proved that we can triumph even while the NDC and NPP exists. So I really don't think that is so. I think there is room in Ghana today for a third force that will unite this country, that will help us focus on issues and away from the extreme polarization and petty bickering. There is room for a third force.
He seems to think you are in a bit of a hurry.
Of course, we are impatient to change things. Some of us cannot tolerate situations that are not credible, that are wrong. I am in a great hurry to revive our tradition. What's wrong with that?
So you tell me. So Samia wins. She's now chair of the CPP. And then what? You keep talking about something drastic that needs to happen with the fortunes of the CPP. The analysts say one of the major things you need to do is to be able to attract a lot of young people who believe in the CPP's cause and not the whole idea of Nkrumahism here, Nkrumahism there, Nkrumahism everywhere. What are you going to do to bring about this drastic change?
We've done 5 regional elections so far where you meet delegates from every single constituency. 9 of each. I wish you were with us because you would see a great number of young people. One of our strongest supports is coming from the youth and from women. In Jomoro, the youth and the women supported me. They were the first to support me, and then everything else followed. We perhaps take the term Nkrumahism for granted, but what does it stand for? It stands for self-mobilization, self-confidence, self-pride, belief in ourselves as Africans that we can manage our own affairs, a belief that we must reclaim our economy and control it, that we must industrialize to give jobs, to create confidence and restore our dignity. This is very relevant today. What is archaic about that? Our industrialization policies are not strong enough. We do not produce enough locally. We are not adding value to our products and our exports. That is very relevant today. What is archaic about that?
So why are you not able, I mean, if it's still this relevant, why are you not able to vociferously sell it to a lot of young people to buy into it and to translate their numbers into votes?
Thank you. We have not been a credible force, and that is the task of the new executives of the CPP. That is why some of us are vying for positions
so that
to
you can
put ourselves forward. Yes, we need to clarify our message and diffuse it and sensitize our people. And I have no doubt that many, many young people would agree with us. I myself have taken it.
The journey to the Congress has been pretty rough. The Western Regional, may I say, Congress itself ended abruptly. You were there.
Indeed, I was there the whole day. And it is just a symptom of how wrong things are.
Three people showed up with the same number
ID
on
card, the same party card, indeed.
How do you convince people that the CPP is a serious party when you can't even have these?
When we take over, that's why we want to take it. We want to correct the mistakes of the past, and we will. You see, some of us are not too bothered about dates, whether Congress happens tomorrow, in a month's time.
But it's important. It gives you enough time to prepare and campaign.
Change is coming to the CPP. The moment we take over, you will see a different CPP. Change is coming. We've been campaigning on the ground. We've been touring different regions. The delegates are looking forward to a different way of doing things. I believe we do have indeed the popular votes, as we've seen from our different regional congresses, and we are optimistic. And whenever Congress comes, you will see change.
The number to call us on is 0302-216-541. My guest is Samia Nkrumah. Stephen, listening to us in Canada, sent us a comment on our email platform. Says, ask Samia the motive behind her desire to become the chairperson of the CPP. She seems not to offer any solutions to rebuilding the party, but only provides recommendations. She should understand that nobody does politics as a full-time job in the world. Samia should rally behind Mr. Nylander for victory in 2012. If the same resources which were put at Jomoro in 2012 were put at any of the other constituencies, we'll have won more seats. Samia must focus on the MP seat and spare us her ambitious desire to lead the CPP. Joe says, tell Samia to be more vociferous in Parliament. Godwin from Medina says, it's obvious that Samia can only secure for Samia, not the CPP. You won and we lost. Tell us what she means by support. No one is born with experience. You gain it by working. Samia brings freshness and hope. We in the CPP are tired of being used to promote people's personal interest. More of your thoughts. Ikuya from Achimota says, at long last, the CPP will move forward, and we, the youth, will rally behind her. We wish her well. Sydney Roxon says, Samia for president. She can continue the dream of her father. This one says, Samia, I wish you well. I pray you win, and please, when you win, don't forget to do the job. Visit the constituencies and know their problems. This one is asking, what has age and experience got to do with anything or getting results? People should leave her alone to run and transform the party. And this one says, if Samia is older than President Obama, why can't she lead the CPP? After all, Obama had no presidential experience. I've always been curious about how you react to some of these comments. Give me a few reactions to some of these comments.
Yes. Okay, it is true I'm older than President Obama. That is absolutely true. I'm just lucky that my age doesn't show, I guess. And that is because we remain very focused on our mission. But I agree fully with those who said that so far we've only had bad performance. And for me, that is no experience worth recounting. There is every indication that the CPP, as it has been functioning over the past decade, has not succeeded. And that is despite the presence of very good, talented men and women within our ranks. They must be given a chance. We want to democratize the way decision-making is done within our party and allow so many good people to have a chance to help us reform. And that is one of the first things we will do. As I said before, regarding the seats, I mean, the seats, you know, if you're good enough at winning votes at the micro level, surely
you can do it at the macro level.
Do it at the macro level.
Akko says the CPP Congress is delaying because the party is broke. True?
It is not the reason. And if the party is broke, whose fault is that? Isn't that a failure? Isn't that some kind of a failure?
Of the collective?
Of the collective, of course.
Including yourself?
Including myself, but I'm not a decision maker within the party today. My word doesn't count, and that is what I want to change. The right people, the sincere people who are not after short-term gain, people who are not in this to benefit personally, must take over this party.
There are those who hold the view, Samia, that you're doing all of this because, the end is that you really want to run as a flag bearer of the party and try and continue.
I have never once said that. That is what people are saying, and some are hoping, because our father was the greatest leader Ghana has ever had.
So what, you have no such ambitions?
At the moment, not at all. I am focused on making our party appealing once again. Nothing can change that focus for me. The question of who leads the CPP is immaterial today, as long as we are so down. We have to rise up, put our house in order, and then look at who will lead us.
Time is 5 minutes after 9 on the Super Money Show. I'm going to hop off to the phone lines and take a few calls when we are done. But I've always wondered, your mom was from Egypt.
Yes.
How did you react to the whole, may I say, uprising in Egypt?
Oh, indeed. Oh, the will of the people must prevail. The will of the people must prevail. Long overdue. This is an intelligent people, industrious people, hard-working people. And of course, sooner or later, political reform must come.
You think it will come? Now the military is in charge.
Oh, it will, but every change is difficult. Every change entails sacrifices. And this is what we know. This is what we are telling ourselves. I never thought that what I'm doing will be easy. There will be a lot of opposition from within, from people who want to maintain the status quo. But this is part of the battle. You have to be prepared to sacrifice.
Godwin is calling us from...
Fellow freedom fighters, the enemy is imperialist.